All three of us, we were right. We told you. Hey, everybody, we told you. Sanity wins. Once again, it's been a big week in Xbox. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back. We're the Xonebros. This is your positive gaming and Xbox community. Thank you for being here. Some house items. I want to say thank you to Techie87. I banned him last week. And I think I called him out on the show a few times when he said he was just joking and had some kind words to say. Thank you, Techie87. And
he's unbanned.
Hey, just so you know, I will overreact in chat always. Okay, but what I won't do is overreact to rumors about Microsoft like half the internet did.
I believe it was more than half. I would say it was like 90%.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys,
and a few of those people are still overreacting.
Still overreacting, yes. Before we get started, if you like this show, if you're tired of losers dictating what gaming opinions are talked or not talked about and freaking out over stuff, then support the show. Come subscribe to us. Become a member over on YouTube, youtube.com/X1Bros. You can also support us if you're listening to us via podcast, which is actually our largest audience. Not even close. Make sure you rate, review, and subscribe to us on any platform that you're listening to. But again, if you do want to support us, youtube.com/X1Bros. Become a member. We have a member lounge exclusive show just for our members that happens every week after this show where we talk with you, the community, and our members. So it's a lot of fun. Let's review real quick what happened, and then we'll get everybody's opinions on what happened. So today was, for those of you who have not been around for the last week, a lot of rumors circulated about a week ago, 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago about, hey, Xbox is going to be going multi-platform. Then rumors compounded and compounded and compounded. And by the end of the week, Xbox is dead, no longer making consoles, and they're going anywhere. Phil Spencer came out and said, hey, we have a business strategy meeting. We'll come out and talk to you guys about it next week. That was today. That happened earlier today on the Xbox podcast. And I have to say that it was pretty good. They did a good job. But let's recap exactly what they said here. So they first, right out the gate, addressed the Xbox exclusivity question. That was blown completely out of control by most gaming places and
about
personalities.
90%.
Yeah, about out there. Yeah, especially if you're on Twitter. It was probably exclusively to Twitter for the most part, but Twitter drives a lot of discourse. So Xbox exclusivity out the gate. 4 games are coming to other consoles. No others. They underscored this is not a change to any plans here. This is not a change to our fundamental plan. They laid out, so what are the 4 games? 2 are service-based games, community-driven games. So part of the rumor was Sea of Thieves. That would be a service-based game that is coming for sure. And then 2 other are smaller games that were never meant to be exclusives. Hi-Fi Rush was the other one, and that's probably Hi-Fi Rush as part of those 2. We'll get to that. So 4 games, 2 service-based, 2 are smaller games. What are the considerations of these 4 games? Why are they going to other platforms? Why are we making them multi-platform? First of all, Phil Spencer said none of this is done, or all of this is done with the long-term health of Xbox platform in mind. Their goal is to grow the Xbox platform. And so they look at these games, and he said their goal is to reach as many players as we can and help grow these smaller franchises. And where it makes sense, for instance, a service-based game, you need a lot of players. Mm-hmm. We're going to bring service-based games everywhere like that. It just makes sense. He then said, because one of the rumors was, what about Starfield? What about Indiana Jones? He said, no, Starfield is not going anywhere. Indiana Jones is not going anywhere. Those are exclusive to Game Pass. Now, why? Why put other games on, or other platforms? Why put Xbox games on other platforms? Phil Spencer said, this is to utilize other platforms to drive more value through these games. He said, anytime there's an opportunity that we won't damage Xbox and we will grow our business, we're going to do that. And he also said, this is a great way to introduce Xbox franchises to players on other platforms to get them more interested in Xbox. Matt Booty then came on and said, all right, here's our core principles, guys, just so you know. All games are on all Xbox games are on the Xbox platform, period. All Xbox games are on Game Pass on day 1. Game Pass will only be available on Xbox. I'll repeat that one because that one was a big part of the news. Game Pass will only be available on Xbox. All of our games will always be on Xbox. And then he said a core feature that they're looking at, especially when they bring games to other platforms, is cross-play, cross-save. He says it's so fundamental to what we're doing when you think about, especially now, Call of Duty, when you think about Diablo 4, when you think they bought all these things too. We then got the news drop that Diablo 4 is coming to Game Pass March 28th. That's absolutely huge. Just underscores the value for Diablo. And then Sarah Bond talked about hardware. She said the flagship Xbox experience will be on Xbox. The flagship Game Pass experience will be on Xbox hardware. She underscored more creators are building for Xbox than ever before at any time. And that they're already focused on the next generation of Xbox, and their goal is to make it the largest technical leap ever in a generation. So everyone can stop panicking. It's exactly what we thought. Who knew? It's a well thought out strategic business plan. That's why Microsoft makes the big bucks. That's why Phil Spencer's where he's at. That's why Xbox is in the position they're in. And I have to say, Xbox is in, when you look out to the future, Xbox is in a better position than PlayStation, and you can see it. PlayStation is scrambling. PlayStation had their business meeting yesterday and is looking to do the same things, but they don't have the infrastructure. They don't have the publisher library. One of the things I talked about here is we're now the largest third-party publisher on PC, on console, on PlayStation. They're the largest third-party
that's what Xbox
publisher.
Said. Yeah, that's what Phil Spencer said.
Yeah. Crazy. So you can see they're set for the future. Is Xbox beating PlayStation in console sales? Right now, no, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about in the next 5 years. The decisions made now affect the next 5 years. So that's where we're at. Spicy, let's start with you. Thoughts, impressions, more confident, less confident, the same after listening to this in Xbox.
Well, there's a lot to unpack because you basically just took 25 minutes and just threw it at us.
22 minutes.
22 minutes, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and say a TLDR.
All right.
Nothing has changed. Like, what was it, a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, before that time period, if you were to erase everything that happened in the last 10 days,
Yep.
it's like we already knew basically all this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How disheartening must it be to have they wanted to announce Diablo 4 as a release for Game Pass, and then instead they had to do all this, and then they're like, oh yeah, by the way, Diablo 4 is now
I think
on Game
they
Pass.
said they were planning this meeting since December. I think the original meeting was to focus on Activision and give us like a roadmap on when Activision games are coming to Game Pass, how it's going to work, and they couldn't do that. However, having said that, I do think this is the most clear path forward. If you question Xbox's plans now, you just haven't been paying attention. Like they left no room to question in my mind.
Yeah, they were very clear. One thing, I don't know if you mentioned this, but they threw out a number that I did not know
That's
before.
right, 34.
They threw out the number 34 million Game Pass subscribers.
Yeah, the last we heard it was over when we hit 20. So I could be wrong on that. I have to check, but
that's big.
Yeah,
and then they just threw it out like they were very clear and concise about everything, and then probably all their big news that they wanted to say previous, it felt like that they were just also, by the way, Diablo 4 is on Game Pass. Also, by the way, we have 34 million subscribers.
Also, I don't know. I don't watch the Xbox podcasts.
Yeah.
Which is funny that we do an Xbox podcast. I don't watch them. So I don't know her, the host. She did a very good job.
Yeah, very good job. Yeah.
Very good job. There was no extra stuff. There was no sometimes when you're doing an interview, people make the mistake of responding to everything you say. Like if I say, Jordan, what did you do today? And you tell me, and the interviewers feel like they have to respond oh, that's very cool. She just moved on to you just move on to the next question. Mm-hmm. And it keeps a good cadence. She did a very good job. Yeah. Well done.
Another thing that I think you left out is their discussion on hardware, where they talked about how the next generation, that they're still in the hardware game, and the next generation is going to be, I think they called it the greatest leap forward in technical advancement.
Yeah, no, I said that. Largest technical leap ever.
You did say that?
Yeah,
okay.
Largest, quote, largest technical leap ever in a generation.
Yeah. So now let's talk about the whole fiasco here, because last week I was talking about there's really three issues here. There's there's the announcement that Hi-Fi Rush is probably coming to non-exclusivity. Then there's how Microsoft handles things. right?
Yeah.
There's actually several stories all packaged up into here. I threw out a conspiracy theory last week that I still, to this day, I still feel is real. But I could be wrong because it's a conspiracy theory. But this week we had PlayStation come out and say, hey, yeah, you know what? We don't have games for about a year and a half. I think we might have just lost the feed, but I'm not sure. Okay,
no,
we're still good. Targeted to cause a mob rage to throw people into a different direction of rage than when the announcement of we're not doing anything for a year and a half comes out
and bringing games to PC.
The rage has already been spent.
Yeah, because there was none left.
It was
all
so,
targeted at
like,
Xbox.
As a normal person, I would consider myself somewhat normal.
Yeah,
I have a somewhat balanced life where I try to work hard for my family. I try to play games when I can. I try to balance things. I feel like I somewhat contribute to society. I try my best. I just live and try my best. I saw a lot of people getting upset over gaming and I understand getting upset and, certain criticism, stuff like that's totally fine. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about I'm burning my Xbox. I'm leaving. Screw these guys. I'm going home. Over a rumor, like some bizarre. It was really
tweeting pictures of your receipt of turning in your Xbox.
It was bizarre.
To GameStop.
The best response I saw to that was, "This dude just got took for a lot of money."
It was bizarre, actions by a lot of people, and on such a level with so many people,
based on nothing.
It was really
literally.
It was confusing. So my conspiracy theory is this. It was a Sun Tzu Art of War. We have a bad announcement coming up. How can we take the heat off of us and put it somewhere else? Because it was fluff. It was nothing. It was based on rumors. And it was pushed so hard.
Yeah.
For those watching, I know a lot of people may be listening to this and going, I didn't even pay attention to all this, which is totally fine. But
yeah,
that's my conspiracy theory. I thought it was... we know that subtle is the art of war, and I think that's what happened here.
I don't disagree. Jordan, anything that really stood out to you in this whole mess, rather than outside of us just being completely vindicated?
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, last week we talked about it. I even said to myself, hey, there's a few concerns I have, but these are all rumors. Let's see what happens. Turns out the biggest rumors weren't true. Which I'll be honest, I actually was a little bit surprised that Starfield wasn't coming to PlayStation, because I actually.
Well, you heard my take last week.
Yeah,
I don't even have a problem.
I don't necessarily think that's especially if they got it the end of the year or next year in 2025. Anyway, but no, I think they did a very good job of being concise and clear. This week I did go on a journey of history, and I went back through all the Windows launches, and I thought to myself, man, Microsoft, it has been 2 decades of crappy communication.
They're not good at
it. It's across the company.
You want to know why I think it's different between Japan and Nintendo and Microsoft? Because here's the thing. So I did see there was a discussion. I thought it was a good discussion earlier in chat. And I forget who was talking about. Oh, Baboy Will, and someone else, and Eric W. Yeah, Eric W. said that he was happy with the news. He just wishes that Xbox, would have addressed it and shut it down right away. And Baboy Will brought up, well, does Xbox need to, should they be addressing all rumors on the internet? And I think both of you are correct. But I don't. Here's the thing: you don't need to address every issue if you enable your social media team to just smack back against them. That's it. You could have smacked back. You could have went to Tim Dog, who's doubled down, one of the bigger Twitter guys who doubled down. He's one of the ones that really pushed this forward.
Yeah.
And he's now doubled down. He overreacted so hard that he's put himself in a corner that he has to eat crow, which he should do, or stick with his plan. And guess what he's doing? He's sticking with his plan. What a fool. Also, go get some help. Seriously. But you could have just, all it takes is your social media team to come out and say, yeah, this is not correct. This is not correct. Stay tuned.
Here's So counter to this.
Or you just say, hey, you're wildly misinformed. Stay tuned. Winky face.
I'm going to try to be Microsoft how they think as a big company.
You got to realize they're huge, and it's a huge bureaucracy.
Yeah. I think if you look at the history of how gamers react, it's like, I mean, as a whole, we're kind of crazy.
Hey, let's be honest. At least they didn't Diablo us.
Yeah.
On stage.
Okay, yeah. That's what I'm getting at. That might be their fear, is if they react too quickly to certain things, maybe it's not taken how they were planning it to take, stuff like that. So I can see their perspective. But
all you say is, this is not true. Stay tuned.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
That's the thing. This 22-minute podcast was very well done. Why couldn't you didn't have to say everything, but why couldn't they just take in a few of those bullet points and just throw them on their Twitter accounts? Just to kind of calm the seas a little bit.
I don't think you want to do that, because then there's no reason to watch this, number one.
Well, no, I didn't say it. That's why I said a few of the bullet. Like, for example, we are not getting rid of hardware. Boom. That's all you had to say.
But
you can even put a smiley face after it.
Or you could just respond and say, this is not correct statement.
Yeah. I don't. But look, all in all, I thought it was a really good presentation. I thought they were clear and concise, which is what I wanted. The concerns that I had last week, I think are completely gone now that I hear their plan. And I would like to say that I was right and David was wrong, because last week, and this is a big moment for me. Last week,
it's a big moment for me.
I talked about the decline of console sales, and both Sony and Microsoft have confirmed that.
He was right. Yes. He was right. I thought it was outpacing, but it's not. It's outpacing. Where I'm confused is, for instance, Xbox sales are outpacing in Japan, but that's not hard to do. That was a low bar.
Yeah. You just had to get 10.
But yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
So no, the other thing that I actually the most exciting thing I took out of this is the new hardware. And David, you actually talked about this in your video on your other channel. You were talking about what the next step in hardware is. And I think
what's my other channel?
X1 the Gamer.
Yeah. You were talking about the next step of the hardware. You were talking about this generation. There's a lot of focus on speed. I mean, you look at PlayStation's hard drive. You look at the new Xbox hard drive, loading fast. You also talked about how you don't think it's necessarily graphics, and I actually 100% agree with you. I don't think the next step is graphics. I think the next step, like you said, frame rate and resolution. I think those are the two next big things.
Yeah, I think the new, you've said this before, I stole this from you. The new 30 is 60. So in next gen, the base will be 60.
That would be amazing.
But is that the largest technological leap? Like, when they say largest technological leap,
well, so
okay, can I just say I don't care what technological leap you make. I need 2 terabytes minimum.
Hard drive space.
Yeah, in my hard drive, because I am so. And also, and if you don't give me the 2 terabytes, just give me an option to expand it for under $100, please.
Well, when you say largest technological leap, it's I think a lot of people think, graphics, or how much on screen and stuff like that. But I don't think a lot of people realize how hardware or how demanding 4K at higher frame rates is. Yeah. And when they say higher technological leap, I think we're going to get higher resolutions at higher frame rates. You said it in your video. I think the new quality mode will be, whatever 4K 120 or whatever, and the performance, basically what I'm getting at, I think the new performance mode will be 60. And I think that's what they need to shoot for.
You mean quality?
No, quality mode is low frame rate, higher graphic fidelity. Performance mode is lower fidelity, higher frame rate.
Yeah.
So yes, that's what I mean. Sorry.
So quality will be 60.
I had to explain it to myself.
Just to disagree. Yeah. No, shut up, David.
So quality will be 60, performance will be 120.
Yeah, and I think that's what they should shoot for. There are certain games right now, I think Dirt 5 is one of them, we can get at 120 on the current Series X. Yeah.
But it's very few.
If we could make...
It's very few. This is beginning to feel like an in-between generation.
Well, and basically what I'm hoping for, I hope, obviously, everything stays the same of what we have now, fast hard drives, cheaper hard drives. I hope we get that. But I think the new baseline for any game on the console, 60 frames. Now, I don't think you should force developers to do that, but you should enable them by putting, obviously, the hardware that can handle it. Now... Can Microsoft do that at a solid price point? I mean, we'll see this winter, but
the largest technological leap, yeah, I think that would be.
But that's what, and I'm not necessarily into. Look, I think 4K is enough right now. I'm not necessarily interested in going like up to 8K or.
I mean, a lot of people in chat are saying 8K, baby.
No, I get it. Like the high, like I used to be like. I get resolution. It does when you go from like 1080 to 1440 and then like there is a difference and you can see it. But I just
Metabox base 8K 120.
To me, if I could play it at a minimum of 1440 and if I can play some of these games at 120, just for an example, me and Mark last year hit Destiny pretty hard with Lightfall. David, you joined us for a little while as well.
Yep.
We started out. Yeah, we started out.
I finished the main mission and I'm out.
We started out on the Xbox and then we went to PC for whatever reason, and it was one of the best decisions I made because that game in particular runs so. I played at 1440 and I was at like 130 on my frames, 120, 130. You know. I just let it uncap on the PC, and how smooth and fantastic of a it increased my gaming experience tenfold playing that game. Just playing at 1440p and a high frame rate, and that's really what I am looking forward to with the future of these next consoles. Yep. I hope they focus on frame rate and resolution. I think that should be the next big focus.
Yeah.
Well, what you're talking about is teraflops then.
Yeah.
We're just going to see a number. I think what's the Series X at like 6 or something like that. I don't even know. I can't remember. But if that's what you're talking about, technical advancement, that's basically what I.
You think that's where we're going?
I think so.
That's the giant leap forward.
It's just going to be pure balls swinging on that thing.
I think that's going to be
pure testosterone.
Yeah, that's the only place.
But are you not with me? I cannot do another generation of minimal storage. I'm sorry.
No, yeah. I mean,
not on the Premier. I get it why on the Series S, although now the Black comes with 1 terabyte. So the Series S Black.
Well, and Xbox does a good job. They have the smart delivery system that I wish more developers would utilize. I guess it only helps you when you're on some of the other consoles, but
it needs 2 terabytes. The size
it'll definitely have 2 terabytes.
The size of games is too big. 1 terabyte a generation ago would have got you by for the most part, but now I can't.
Well, do you remember the first Xbox 360 only came with 20 gig hard drive? Like, look,
yeah.
And what was that? 2007 when the 360 came out? Because Halo was 2008, right? So
I think it was 2006. End of 2006.
So 2006 to now. I mean, that's really not that long. Look how far things have.
Yeah. Well, and to be fair, NVMe drives were relatively new. They were they were available for like 2 years on PCs.
Yeah.
And they were still in that super high price point when this came out. And obviously PlayStation and Xbox wanted to keep the costs as low as possible for
hard drives probably something you can it's an easier thing to cut than other stuff, you know.
Well, yeah. And so I'm guarantee that's why we're going to those prices are so low compared to what they were at this point. It's going to be you're going to have a much better chance. Yeah.
I want to take some super chats here before we continue. Why don't we pull up Remnant as background footage as well? That would because I've been playing that. We've been playing that. We played that game this week, and we want to talk about it. Real quick, some super chats here from chat. Techie87, thank you for the super chat. Says, feels so good to be back. Member for 19 months, Arbiter. Thank you for your support. MF Great, welcome. You became tier 1 wingman status. Thank you very much, MF Great. Shout out to you, my friend. Again, if you want to support us, support the show, become a member just like MF Great, and you get a sweet, we call it the Sexy X. It's right there next to your name, the badge. And Super Shocker, who's got the gold one. Ooh, he gifted 10 X1 Bros memberships. Everybody in chat, please drop some BFFs emotes for some custom BFF emotes that you get if you're a member. For Super Shocker, a huge shout out. Super Shocker also dropped another super chat. Says, I want ray tracing 2.0. Remember when it was all about ray tracing? Truth. Like everything. There's just like marketing buzzwords that pop up.
Yeah.
Even if it's a technical something that's technical.
Ray tracing is impressive when done correctly.
Yeah, shut up, David. Ray tracing is impressive.
Can I say one more thing before we move on to different games and stuff like that? David, you said this in your video on your other channel.
I'm an intelligent man.
Yeah, but I've been saying this for a while, so I think you actually got this from me, and I'm going to say it right now.
I do steal stuff from you sometimes.
Yeah, I'm going to say it right now. and I don't care who leaves a comment below or who gets upset.
Oh no! Because
this
Here we go.
And what happened yesterday proves it. I 100% think, and this is my conspiracy theory.
Oh,
I 100% think there's a media bias, gaming media bias towards Xbox.
Oh, there definitely
just
is.
Because look what happened all throughout Xbox and Sony.
I just steal that
on a rumor.
On a rumor. And then Sony announces basically the same thing. They're going to bring some of their games to PC. Yes, they didn't announce they're bringing stuff to Xbox, but they're bringing some of their. They're going to try and bring some of their first party stuff, if I read that announcement correctly, to PC. No one says anything. Like you said, 12 hours before.
But that in and of itself.
And don't get me wrong, I actually think that's a good thing for PlayStation.
No, listen, that in and of itself could be chopped up to, well, it's just them confirming that that's the correct direction, that's just where the market's at. But that was on top of, and oh, by the way, our next big first-party title isn't until 2025.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and then I think
Imagine if that was Xbox.
As the very first...
Imagine.
I don't have to, because that was Xbox a few years ago, and everybody hammered them. Now, to be fair, Sony puts out some solid games that do take a lot of time.
I will say.
But this week has proved that there is a lot of crazy people out there.
There is.
That overreact, and I don't think I've ever needed had to use this, but legitimately need to go touch grass.
Touch it, baby.
I some of the current lingo I try to say.
Sometimes at night I lay outside naked in the grass and let the earth nourish my body.
Yeah, they need to do that. Not everybody. I think I was telling David this before the show. I think the person who handled it 100% the best was Ryan McCaffrey.
Respect. He's been on the show. It's because he's been on the show.
But, yeah, he knows. Yeah, he knows. By far, Ryan McCaffrey did it the best. He reported it the best. He even came out with a video on YouTube that explained everything really well, and he gave very proper criticism that was fair.
Yep.
Very well done to him.
Yep. No matter how you feel about IGN, Ryan McCaffrey was the most level-headed. And correct and called it and observant, made good observations,
good criticisms.
Everybody. So shout out to him.
But yeah, no, I think there's definitely a bias, and this week, given what happened yesterday with PlayStation, 100% showed.
Yeah, and there's a lot of bricklayers.
Yeah,
if you recall from my comment last week. There's a lot of people that know,
whenever there's a news story, how many professionals come out of the woodwork.
Yeah, there's a lot of professional CEOs over very large corporate entities that come on and tell, you know what they should do. This is going to be the best thing for them.
Well, and like we said before, to be a little fair, Microsoft could have handled this 100% better. But they just did what they do best, and they screwed up my PC audio with their Windows update and cannot communicate.
I just think Microsoft
they
get timid when it comes to PR because of their past. Like they have messed up a lot, and I think they're just okay. Before we say anything, let's figure out what we want to say. I think they've just have a past of just not doing
and especially.
It well.
They did have a PR nightmare when it came to the Xbox One, because remember Don Matrick was like, well, then don't buy it. Basically, he was like, well, we have a 360. Go get that one then. Well, so, I mean, they but I don't know.
Real quick, Cooper dropped another super chat here. He says, hey, bros, Xbox is here to stay. Amen, brother. Thank you very much for the super chat. I do want to talk about, though, the reason PlayStation... The new PlayStation head of Sony Interactive Entertainment gave his report this week, and he talked about they've had success with their console. They underperformed on their sales when they set their expectations on sales, so they lowered those numbers. That sent their stock tumbling temporarily. And Phil Spencer mentioned this in the thing as well, that the gaming industry is not growing right now. And so how, as a company, how do we... There's two things that you can do. You can go after the same users and continually try to, get more money from the same group of people, or you can try to expand that group of people. And everything Xbox is doing right now is an attempt to expand the group of people that they're reaching. And that's essentially the reason this is a big deal and won't get talked about as much is because PlayStation's business meeting underlined that Xbox strategy is correct and has been correct. And what's so dangerous, I said this earlier, what's so not dangerous, but what's going to be so interesting to watch is what does PlayStation do now it takes years to put together this infrastructure. It takes. I mean, look, how long have we been talking about Game Pass? What is 2 years? 2 years? 3 years now for Game Pass? A while. You got to set that up, and they now have, tons of studios with all their acquisitions. It's going to be interesting to see what Sony does to adjust here. Now, well, once again, in the comments, Sony's winning. Yes, we get it. We're talking about the future here. But Sony admitting that these AAA costs are going up on, Spider-Man 3 is like what, over $500 million? Almost $500 million for look it up, Google that, check me there because I might be wrong. How much did it cost to make Spider-Man 2?
Spider-Man 2? Okay.
Not the movie, the game.
Well,
and PS5.
I actually think Sony's making the right move. I think
may have oversaid that. It's hundreds of millions, though. I know that.
I think bringing their games to the PC,
$315 million
total budget.
$315 million, and so the problem here is that PlayStation is not outselling the PlayStation 4, the PlayStation 5. And the reason you make a game like this and you spend this kind of money on this game is to sell platform, the PlayStation. So it's not matching the growth of the PlayStation 4. So you're selling less.
Consoles, correct.
Consoles. It's costing you more than ever before. And it's taking longer to make, which is why Sony doesn't have a major title dropping in 2025.
So this move, let's say, I don't know when, but let's say Spider-Man 2 comes out on Steam end of this year. That's a big win for Sony because you get a whole new influx of how many people just play on PC that are going to try Spider-Man for the first time, which already did because the original Spider-Man came to PC, and I think God of War, Horizon, Days Gone all came to PC, and people got to play them. I think it's a good move for Sony. I think it's the right move. I think it's what Xbox is going for. Sony sees that, and yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting, though. I will say, though, that $315 million shows that game is
David watched me play the intro of it.
Have you played it, Spicy?
Not yet, no.
It's visually incredibly impressive.
I really liked Spider-Man 1.
I
liked it a ton. I 100%ed that game. Every trophy.
Yeah, it's really good. I laughed during your comment because Fitzy came in and says, crap, I was busy arguing with trolls on next one's video and didn't realize there was a show. There's some crazy trolls that we talked about before the show. One guy is over there like, you were against this all along. You just barely came around. You sent me a message saying you were against it. That was that guy. And
like, what?
I responded.
Yeah, it was a good response.
Go check it out.
But what's interesting about this PlayStation is you can already see the success of PlayStation Studios bringing their games. Look at Helldivers this week. Helldivers is on PlayStation and PC to tremendous success, given it's a good game, right? A good game is going to be a good game, but
I got to play that game.
Yeah. So two games
it's really good.
Two games that are on also Fitzy. Thank you. The Xonebros army. Going to town on the trolls. Appreciate it.
Hey, how many millions of dollars do you think Spider-Man 2 spent on getting the language of Spanish wrong?
Is it wrong?
Yeah, it's that gender-neutral Spanish that doesn't make any sense.
They went gender-neutral Spanish?
Yeah, but that's not Spanish.
Like impossible. Yeah. I live in a home that speaks Spanish. That's impossible.
Well, it was fun. I don't know the streamer. I wish I did, but he was a South American streamer, and he's playing like, Spider-Man, and he's playing in Spanish, and he's going through the city, and because people talk, right? Yeah. You're like swinging, they're like, oh my gosh, a crime, or hey, what are we doing? all this stuff, you can see his face go weird, and he's like, okay, right? And like you can keep seeing his face go weird, and then he like stops, and now when you know what he's doing, he's listening, and he like makes this weird like what? And he goes to the settings and he turns off all dialogue because it was just like it was wrong. Like it didn't. Yeah.
I
wonder how many millions of dollars they spent on that.
So Mark
creating their own language.
So for those of you that don't know, Mr. McSpicy speaks Spanish. That's why he's Mr. McSpicy. Spicy Spanish Tuesdays at his house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
he is my actual official translator for Spanish.
What is the equivalent in English? Like, how would that sound? Like, does it just sound gibberish? Like, what? I'm confused. I don't know. I can't comprehend because in English, like, there is some words, but it's not. Those words aren't the base of the language. But in Spanish, like, literally.
Yeah,
it determines what you say.
Yeah, words have masculine and fem. They have two variations, which could change the noun completely. So it could mean something entirely different if you change it.
Yeah.
So
So it's just not.
There's nothing. I'm trying to think in English.
It could be just nonsense, like a string of words put together. Hey, went to work at street today.
No, it's not even bad grammar. It just changes the word entirely.
Interesting.
It was a streamer named Rubius. He muted Spider-Man 2 after hearing General Neutral Spanish, but his facial, he was like, what?
Oh, shot. OTX Trucker says, you sure it wasn't Puerto Rican or Dominican Spanish?
No, it makes it go from English to a different language, or just words that don't make sense. That's what's happening. So you're hearing a regular sentence, and then you're hearing,
hey, Mark, how you doing?
Exactly. And it's like, and then you're going.
That was his face. It was,
it's like, because it changes the word, the meaning of the word entirely. Or let's here's this, but it's not the same thing. Can you pass me that banana? Can you toss me the banana?
The banana. You mean the banana?
Yeah, so it's like, but that's on a light scale. You're changing.
Well, don't you like?
That's just the
in Spanish specifically.
That's
Wouldn't
just the
you have to?
pronunciation.
Don't you have to like actually invent words to make it work? Which also makes no. Well, because like the words don't exist, so you'd have to like invent a word to be gender neutral. You know,
what they're doing is they're changing the last. Yeah, because words have roots, and then They're changing the word.
They're inventing a language.
I would like some spaghetti, please. You mean spaghetti?
They're trying.
Right there. OTX says it goes from Nino or Nina to nine, Niñe, which is not.
So So they're it changes.
Isn't 9 German? What?
It is.
Yeah,
Nine
this is weird.
But your brain can't. Your brain is so trained to understand words, even reading. When you read, your brain sees if you just saw the beginning of the word and the end of the word and mix the middle letters together, your brain still recognizes it. Here, let me show you. Let me pull up Notepad.
Yeah, there's a cool study.
Let's take keyboard, board, and then let's just change. It's hard. It's hard to show
I get what you're saying.
But your brain knows words by as an entity, and when you're doing that, it's changing the word entirely, so it makes zero sense.
That's funny.
So they literally put in a couple million, I guess, to create their own language.
Should we talk about?
I can't. When I heard that, I was like, "Oh my gosh!"
Let's talk about.
They don't know.
Before we jump into Remnant 2, because we did jump into Remnant 2 this week because it is on Game Pass, and I've been going down different rabbit holes, so we jumped into Remnant 2. But Skull and Bones beta, I played it.
Oh yeah,
and I would like to talk about it. Jordan? Did you play it at all?
No.
Spicy, did you play it?
No.
I did.
Well,
we
figured you were playing it, so we
don't
got it covered.
That's what I'm here for. Skull and Bones. So here's the thing.
I watched some gameplay.
I know why it was delayed because it's a different game entirely.
From what you played.
What we played at
4 years ago at
2019 E3 was a PvP game. That was it. Leaderboards. It was like jumping into a Call of Duty match, only you're on ships. It is now a Sea of Thieves looter shooter on boats. That's what it is. I have fun with it. I'm very curious though.
Well, there still is PvP, right?
There's still PvP. It's PV, PvE.
Yeah.
The world. So you're stuck on a ship. There is a lot of ships out there from other players, and you can see everyone. It's completely cross platform. So you see, is this person on PC? Is this person on Xbox, et cetera, as you're playing. Anytime you see someone walking around, by the way, it's deceptive. Walking around is only basically at it's like the tower in Destiny. Is what walking around is. Everything else is only done in your boat. So for instance, when you first start up, you got to go in and you got to level up to get a ship, and there's certain materials that you have to go get and collect. To collect those materials, to farm them, you never leave your boat. You go up to the shore where there's these trees, and then you cut them down. And you bring them back, and then you go and you get other resources. You take out alligators and sharks and yada, 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 and get resources that way. It's fun. The gameplay loop is fun. There's a big difference. You want to talk about performance mode and quality mode? Big difference. I prefer quality mode in this instance. Turn off motion blur. with quality mode because it looks so much better than in performance mode. And I'm not sure you're getting that much in performance mode. I don't know what the numbers are, but I didn't feel that big of a difference outside of motion blur.
Here's the question for you, the big question, which I think a lot of people are going to ask. You played this game beta, which at this point it's a demo. Betas aren't what they used to be.
This ship that's being shown here is the first upgrade ship that you get.
But the big question is, you played this beta, which is essentially a demo at this point, because the game's coming out. Is it end of this month or beginning of next month? Very soon.
It's like this week.
Yeah.
Next week.
Is it to you? Is it worth $70?
So I don't know. I don't know. The gameplay loop is
it's
there,
going to be
and
$70.
I could see myself playing it. I mean, they do a good job with the hook, in my opinion. I've seen some people just really rip this apart, and I think that that's clickbait. I really do. It was fun. What they nailed. They do some things better than Sea of Thieves. They do some things worse than Sea of Thieves. It's a different game than Sea of Thieves overall.
But it'll naturally be compared to Sea of Thieves.
It will naturally be compared to Sea of Thieves.
Well, at least a $70 upgrade from Sea of Thieves. Right?
Yeah. What they do correct, I think they manage to level, like their leveling system, their prestige is there off the bat, and I think is more transparent and apparent than Sea of Thieves.
I think what's going to be hard for a lot of people, or when they're making their decisions, is yes, this game is $70, but it's also a live service game. So you're talking about more microtransactions, season passes. So I've spent a lot of money on games before that I like, but it's going to be and I think that was the criticism.
You want to know why it's $70?
Because it's a quadruple A game,
it's a
according to the
game.
CEO.
I saw that. He called it a quad A.
What are you talking about? It's a quadruple A game.
If this is a quadruple A game, there must be something hidden that I don't see, or maybe it's like an end game, but there was nothing quadruple A about it.
I like the premise. I like the idea, and I'm interested. Is it worth that investment?
I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I don't know what, on a beta, I think I got maybe 5 hours in, 6 hours total. And I enjoyed it. It was fun. I really like, here is where their crafting system better than Sea of Thieves. I think their prestige.
Well, I don't think Sea of Thieves has a crafting system.
The ship customization, the way that you got to go out and level up and come back, and then you have missions and you got to go attack people. Like, it's structured. It's freaking. It's a looter shooter. It's structured that way on the ocean, it's fun.
Here's a question.
So you think the game is fun?
I enjoyed it.
Okay.
I don't know what end game is, though. Like, that's the big question with this. What do you eventually get to? These massive ship battles? Because even this video, where we're at, this is all the beginning area.
Well, and I think, where you'll have, but it's hard to say. I mean, because you're always going to have fun with friends, right? But you'll probably, is this a game like Sea of Thieves? Yes, you can play solo. Sea of Thieves is, I think, designed, well, I don't know. It's better to play Sea of Thieves with a crew.
Yeah.
I
mean, yes, they have the solo sloop, and you can do that, and I've done that for sessions. But it is thought about as a crew game. You get your crew together and you go out. Is this the same thing? Is this going to be a game that's more fun in a fleet of ships?
A fleet would be bad A, but I don't know. I do enjoy. So imagine more simplistic. I mean, you're seeing the battles right here. This is more simplistic battle, so he's trying to rob this merchant ship. That's like supplies on the side there. Now he's boarding as a crew, but then it's just a cinematic. And people were making fun of this. I have zero problem. I don't know what they're making fun of.
Look, I'm no sailor, but these ships can turn on a dime. I'm impressed.
Yeah, they
just ran into the coast.
I am impressed with I am impressed with the quality of builds here on these ships.
Yeah, honestly, it's different than Sea of Thieves. If you want more action-packed, I don't know. Sea of Thieves feels like you're a sailor. This, you're a ship. Like, there's a difference.
Well, yeah, because Sea of Thieves, you're putting the sails.
What I don't like about Sea of Thieves, I think Sea of Thieves is a really fun game, genius. What I don't like about Sea of Thieves is the lack of direction. I like the sandbox which I know is a feature, not a bug. Like the lack of prestige, and I know that's their kind technically.
Oh yeah, you have like your pirate legend,
but it's not apparent. it's apparent here. I prefer this model.
Well, there's more. I think you're talking about progression.
Yes.
See, their progression is more. You can see your progression, whereas in Sea of Thieves, it's more like you're just trying to rank up your factions. You know.
Yeah,
there is a progression. The
both
progressions
have
are different.
strengths, I think, and both are a different reason. I just prefer this.
One more question.
To that.
Something I incredibly enjoy in Sea of Thieves is just letting someone drive and I get on the back and I just fish. Can you fish in this game?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I know you can harpoon a shark, but
harpoon-
I just
not
want to
just
get
sharks.
I just want to get
I
on the
harpoon-
front of the ship, throw my rod out and just relax while someone's sailing across the world.
I never fished. I don't know. Is
Or
what I can
harpoons,
say.
right? You can
But
throw
I
a harpoon.
harpooned the crap out of big animals like sharks, and I went down a river one time and there was a crocodile there. And sharp.
Now, I'm
Harpoon
gonna
that
throw
bad
stuff
boy.
out. All I've seen is what other people have been playing and saying, and then what David has been.
Tekken 87, Borderlands on water, kind of. Yeah, kind of.
What I'd like to see, and I don't know if there is. What I think Sea of Thieves does really cool is world events. Is there a Kraken in this? Like that would be, you know what I mean? Is there PvE events that intermingle with the PvP? And I think that's where Sea of Thieves does really well.
There we go.
Can this, you know?
There we go. Fitzy, you can throw a harpoon in the area of a fish and they just die. I know Fitzy was playing this game as well. Sharks
Yeah.
and bigger predators take more hits. That's exactly it. Fitzy also said it scales with how many people you're playing with. So you go with a group of 3 ships, you're going to be attacking some tanky, powerful ships. And you probably get better loot as a result. So that's super cool. Again, like I said, I just like this is your mailbox. You come in, you get your rewards. You get storage right next to this where you can store stuff because your ship is limited. You got to like upgrade your ship's storage. Your ship is limited. Again, I had fun.
You know what this gameplay loop reminds me of? Monster Hunter. Is this Monster Hunter?
It's Monster Hunter. It's Monster. Well, it's Monster Hunter, but the monsters
But
are
PvP.
are you're a pirate, so you're looting, pillaging.
Yeah, I gotcha. But the gameplay loop from what I'm watching feels like Monster Hunter.
Well-
you go back to your town, you
Yep.
set up, and then you
Set
go
up.
back out and get all the
You craft
crap you
like
can.
here's your blacksmith, so I want better cannons.
Well, so
I want
here's-
better.
I will play a Monster Hunter pirate game.
Explain this to me though. What is the purpose of your pirate character?
I have no idea. To go get
No. Like in town, like because when you go to town, it takes you out of your ship and you're in town.
Yeah.
And you were kind of explaining it to me this week. What is the point of going? Like, what is that purpose? Because it seems like the game is more like
No, the town is where as
'Cause
you're
towns
out
are
and about,
instants.
you're
It's not-
looting,
it's not
you're
open
looting,
world.
you're collecting materials, you're doing all sorts of stuff. So towns, you pick up bounties, you pick up missions, you craft, you upgrade. It's like Spicy said, it's Monster Hunter.
Super Shocker answered it for you. To
What'd he
pee
say?
and get a
To
beer.
pee and get a beer.
That's why you're heading back to town.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
No, like Monster Hunter, when you go back, you craft from the stuff you just got.
Yeah,
set
you
stuff
buff up
You
and
have
all
the
that stuff.
cats feed you really awesome
Yeah.
food, and then you head back out and get it's the loop.
You cook food.
This is
The whole
Monster
shot.
Hunter.
So
here's-
but like a PvP version.
David,
Yeah.
here's my issue with this is going to go to the discussion on a $70 game. And especially if this is a $70 game
plus live service.
plus live service.
But you
When
got to keep
I-
in mind, Mark, it's a quadruple A game.
Call me old fashioned.
Yeah.
Here's when I hit that $70 price tag,
Yep.
I feel like it's a risk. Before, like other games, I feel like it's less of a risk because it's less money.
I didn't know this game was $70, and I'm like, yeah, I think I'll pre-order this. It's right there on the screen as you're playing it. And then Jordan told me, you know, this is $70, right? And I was like, what? And yeah, I'm not buying it at $70. I don't know enough to know if my $70 is worth it.
because it feels like at the $70 price tag, games feel like a risk for me.
Yeah,
That's too much for it to be like, oh, you know, whatever. I'll piss
I
it
will
away.
wait a few weeks, see what Endgame is, see if
The problem is I have
It's
no
worth it.
willpower of patience.
Like
And-
you will just pay that money.
Well, it's just like, I want to play it. I want to figure it out.
Are you gonna buy the $65 mount on Diablo 4?
Oh, my goodness.
Which, by the way, is more than the game.
I saw that.
It's a $59
People were like,
game for a
one of the best tweets I saw about
Okay,
that was
okay.
was for the cost of this mount, you could pick up Helldivers or Pal Worlds and have money left over. Or you could get this mount in Diablo.
That's
Look,
crazy. to me.
I'm really glad Diablo's coming to Game Pass, and I think that's a big
much did it
benefit of
sell?
Diablo. But
What's that?
Do we know how many they sold?
Blizzard makes some weird monetization decisions.
Do they though? Because it only takes how many people play? How many people play Diablo? What do you think? What do
Right
you think
now,
that-
I think it's a lot less.
Yeah, but what do you think? What do you think? Let's say daily active users.
I mean, we could look it up.
Yeah, what's- yeah,
Wait,
look-
no, it's Blizzard.
Here,
so
I'll
we
look.
wouldn't really
Well,
know.
look. Well, Steam will tell us off.
But
off
is it
there.
on? I don't think Diablo's not on Steam, is it?
Oh, that's right.
It's a Blizzard game, so it's on BattleNet.
What's Diablo for current?
Didn't one of the Overwatch came to Steam? That's what it was.
Oh yeah, and Overwatch. Have you seen Overwatch's new?
About
balance update?
150,000 players a day, close to 160.
Is it good or
so
bad?
let's say this was over the month of January. So 150,000 daily active players. What is 1% of 150,000? 1,500.
That math seems to check out to me. Yeah.
Yeah, we're spitballing here, right?
So
that
what
math
is
seems about right.
1,500 times 64? Someone do that math for me.
Oh my gosh. Here, I'll just have the computer do it. Calculator. 1,500
$100,000? It's not
times
that much.
64.
Yeah.
$100,000 basically.
Yeah, it's not that much. So it's got to be more. Like the thing is these stores, you're
But
just
at least it's not pay to win.
No, but you're just. Yeah, but the
pay
thing
to
is,
drip.
the thing is, if you're Diablo 4, like it's worth it for you to say like, okay, here's this badass mount.
Well,
Let's see how many people buy it.
I'm going to be honest.
Because you also
I
have
feel
other
like
things that you could buy. You don't have to buy it. Like what?
As
I would be curious what their numbers are.
As a
on it.
whole, I enjoyed Diablo 4. I think they have issues. I have not played Season 2. I was going to play Season 3, but then I watched a lot of people complain about it, so I didn't play Season 3 yet. But as a whole, I enjoyed Diablo 4. I'm not going to buy a fancy mount in Diablo 4. It's just the mount isn't... I don't see the point of buying a fancy mount in Diablo 4.
It's not like
It's not...
It's not like it's. It's not like it's
It's
central
different.
to your game.
It's
that others
different
see.
than... Okay, I would say I am
It's not
more...
like an MMO mount.
Look, I would say I am more likely to buy a character skin in Destiny than I am a character or a mount skin in Diablo 4. Like I don't think that game.
I'm gonna pull up the mount so people can see it.
What is the most expensive Diablo?
That's
4
the
item
$65
ever?
mount.
No, I think it's the.
No,
green
it's
one.
like a purple one.
Oh.
I saw a purple one.
I know about it. I've not seen it, but if that's it, then someone's getting ripped.
I mean, it has been.
Oh, do a Darth Microtransaction. I like him.
I like him too.
Yeah, he's funny.
Pull it up. I just want to find
Yeah.
it. That was it right there. I just saw it.
Okay, let's see if this is
That's
$65.
it on the left.
That looks not like.
Yeah, $64.99.
What is happening?
So what
Well,
I think is
they
cooler.
They do bundle it in with 7,000 coin too. So they're trying to like min max.
It's called the sweetener.
Yeah, they're trying to min max. So you're getting 7,000 coin and a mount.
Okay.
Look, art is subjective.
How much? Okay,
That's
but hold
fair.
on.
I didn't realize.
Wait,
it came
but
with
hold on.
7,000
How
coins.
much are coins regularly?
Let's go back.
Well, oh no, it's the.
There we go. He's on coins.
I think the $30 mount actually looks
So
better. to be
coins,
honest.
5,000 coins, 5,700 is $49. Oh yeah, so you're getting.
So it's a
you're getting coins. That's how they do it.
yeah they bundle. It's a bundle package, so it's not just the mount, I guess, right? But
And what do you buy with the coins? I see. I'm not.
everything else.
everything. This is their Mickey Mouse dollars that lets you buy everything in the shop.
Yeah. So it's a bundle, which I guess makes it like less. Like it's not just a straight $65 mount. It's a mount plus you get 7,000 coins.
If you buy $7,000 coins, you get a mount. That's basically what I see from this, which is a lot better than I thought.
Yeah, that's
But
not a
still-
bad. That's not a bad deal. The headlines make it worse than it is.
Yeah, but
Let's
still,
go back. Let
I
me see
mean,
what those add-ons are again.
I'm not
To
like
where he's showing the right there. Because all of them are like that. That's how they get you. That's how they. That's
yeah, they're
that's
min
the smart way to
maxing
do
there.
it.
Well, but here's the thing.
Here's the thing. Do you like that
No,
mount over the dark
No,
pathways?
I think the Beckoning Thunder mount looks better than that.
no, that's the glow.
Yeah, but
dude.
you only get 1,800 Mickey Mouse
He looks
dollars.
like
Yeah, it's the glow. It's the glow. Dude.
look. I'm
glow sells.
no.
Everybody wants the glow.
He fell in a vat of crystals
Everybody wants
and
the
got
glow.
out.
A
Like-
vat of crystals.
Look, art is subjective, so I'm not like I think the one on the right looks better
I
for
bet you-
$40.
But look how much less coins you get.
Oh yeah.
Because here's the thing:
at this point, I'm losing out.
if we go to the actual,
how much
coins,
is 1,800 coins?
It's like, think of each coin.
That mount
as
looks
a penny.
cooler.
Basically that. I mean, give or take some change.
Yeah, so
each coin is a penny.
You're getting less coin. Yeah, you're either right. They make the deal almost unresistible.
It's for the coins.
It's too good of a deal to not get the horse.
That's what this is, because that's $70 worth of coins for $64.
Because you're paying $40 for 1,800, and it was $29.
Yeah, that's all good.
2,800.
But what I'm saying is,
so you're getting less coins.
In Diablo specifically, I'm not as compelled to buy as I am like V-Bucks. Like I spent a lot of money on V-Bucks.
That's why Fortnite's king.
I don't feel.
Why Disney puts $1.5 billion into Fortnite.
I don't feel the desire to spend. I'm okay buying the season pass in Diablo. Like, okay, I'll spend the $10, $20, whatever it is for the season pass because you get all this stuff. But I don't feel the desire, and this is just me, to buy, because I've seen their store. Like, nothing really. And maybe it's because of the way your character is. You're up, so you're not like seeing your gear like you are in Fortnite. But see, even in Destiny, you're not seeing your gear because it's first person, other than when you're in the tower. But I feel more. All I'm saying is, for some reason, Diablo doesn't captivate me with cosmetics like say Destiny or Fortnite.
Like Fortnite does, yeah.
I validate your argument here. It's a good argument. That said, there are people that would just want the coins and they get this with it.
Yeah, that's fine.
And also people will like that horse too. What's on the platinum tab?
That's really interesting. I did not know it came with coins.
Does he go to the platinum tab? I'm curious what.
Yeah, he does. That's platinum is the coins.
No, he's on the.
Yeah, platinum is the coins.
Oh, platinum's the coins. Okay.
I thought that was a lot worse than I.
It also might be because that lady that sells me the crap in Diablo 4 kind of freaks me out. So maybe I just don't.
What's that?
That lady that sells me stuff in Diablo kind of freaks me out. So maybe that's why I don't buy stuff. It's like,
and I get it. Most people aren't gonna buy it. But if you want the coins anyways, that's kind of like you get a mount with the coins. That's what I see from this. But the discussion, from what I've seen, all the news and stuff.
Yeah, it sounded like it was just
which would be terrible. That would be absolutely dumb.
Yeah, there's more to the story.
And even if you look at the picture of it,
we got caught with the headlines, everyone.
Yeah.
We got took.
Even if you look at the picture, it looks like it's about the horse, about the mount, not about the coins.
Like this is.
Okay, Jordan, are we gonna?
Why? And look, you spend your money the way you want to spend your money, but why would you spend $30 on colors for a portal?
Why would you spend $30 on?
Look at my mouse pad
on a dance.
That's fine. That portal,
okay, ready?
You go through it and it's gone.
I actually on all three items here, I would get the portals. I think that's awesome.
The portals,
and I would be like, hey guys,
I am more
together.
upset with those portals. Hey guys, you know why? I'm more upset with those portals? Because something like that, in my opinion, should be an in-game unlock.
Maybe there is, but not this color.
Yeah,
dude, I love those. Those
crappy
colors.
I don't know.
You're wrong. They're sweet. Yeah. It's subjective again. There's something in here for everyone.
Artists glows different colors, Jordan.
Yeah, but that's different. That's different.
I love that.
You're on your mouse pad all day. You can see the colors. It syncs up with the rest of your computer.
It syncs with my keyboard and my mouse.
It syncs up with the rest of your computer. It's RGB is good.
So do my portals.
The portal, you go through it and you leave it. It's not like you're it's not like you're staring at it.
No. Can I tell you something?
When I do it and you're doing it next to me, you're going, damn, I want that portal.
You're like, oh.
And then you're like, that's $30. I can't do that. But this guy did.
When it lights up the area like a techno dance club.
No, I think I'm more angry at the portals than I am the horses.
See, I love the portal. I think the portal's cool. I would get that.
$30 for color.
Can we talk about Remnant before we get out of here? We got one more. Remnant 2 is on Game Pass, and I know it's been out for a while, and we jumped in and played it this week. I really like that game. I had a lot of fun with that game. I highly recommend it. My one rant here, Jordan shares it with me. In 2024, gaming, I think, needs to just go away from tutorials. I am a grown-ass man who has played hundreds of hours of video games, thousands and thousands of hours. I can figure out 99.9%. What they should do is you have the option, if you need it, to go learn something. And it's not even a tutorial here. What it is this, because this is what I'm looking for. I'm realizing this about myself. I just want to I want a linear game. This game is linear. That's what got me to start playing it. And I started playing it by myself. And then I was like, Jordan, you should check this out. And then we were like, Mark, you should come play this with us. And then we played. My problem is I'm in a story, and their story is the tutorial. So you're in this story, you're with this girl, you're exploring, and then you fight this monster, and you're like, yeah, this is cool. This gunplay feels cool. And even though they're teaching you stuff in that, I don't mind that kind of tutorial. Then it takes you out, and you're in a freaking home base, and it's like, go talk to this guy, go talk to this guy, or go talk to this. I don't care. I don't want to do that. I just want to get in and play the part of the game that is super fun to play, and that's the shooting.
Yeah.
And they took you out of that, and I think it's happening. It happens in a lot of games, and it's because every game has to be super complicated and have all these crafting systems so that you can continuously play the game. I just want to play the game. I just want to play.
Well,
I don't have enough time to spend 45 minutes doing learning everything about your town and talking to every single person. I don't have that time. I want to play the game. Big game developers, just let me play your game. Like, make all that other stuff. Don't force me to go forward. Have to go explore everything in your town because you're trying to teach me crafting systems. I just want to play your game.
Yeah, I don't know. Let me figure out the crafting systems. It's part of the fun.
Amen.
Some games just have on the menu when you're going into the game tutorial or like how to play.
Well, like even if you take Elden Ring, you can, when you very first start, you can go down into the cave and do a tutorial, or you can just head straight out.
Yes.
That tutorial does not talk about like crafting or shops or anything like that.
Well,
no.
what was it? I
really
think so. What to get what David, because I got frustrated when I was trying to catch up to you guys because you guys had played a couple hours before me.
Yeah. It's a multiplayer game.
They don't even tell me on the map where I'm supposed to go, and I'm stuck on a damn tutorial. The only way you can see, because you can see it on this gameplay right now. See how it pops up right there? It says rest at this checkpoint or whatever it is. You have to be within like 30 meters. If you're outside of 30 meters, there's no HUD display to tell you the direction. And it says, go talk to Charles. I don't know where this damn guy is. I just want to play with my friends.
Yeah,
well,
so
that was our issue. Look, it probably wouldn't have been as bad if we just, because it's probably not a long tutorial, but our issue was like, we just want to play with each other. I don't care about this guy.
No, but remember, you came and watched me, and I'm like, I just want to play. I'm doing this stupid town thing. It removed me from, I specifically got this game because it was linear, and it removed from that. Anyways, that's just an observation. That's a little thing in this game.
Yeah, the stuff we like.
Big deal.
It is fun.
This game is a lot of fun.
Yeah, this game is phenomenal. It's Dark Souls
with guns.
With guns.
It's Gears Dark Souls.
Yeah.
With a better multiplayer system.
Yeah.
Because you can just join games without writing soapstones on the ground.
And I will say this, I'm actually very impressed with the third-person combat. Like, it feels, I don't know if I'd say it's better than Gears, but it feels very good. Like, it doesn't feel clunky. Like, it feels nice and smooth. Everything is responsive. I had to kind of get used to my melee, how melee worked, but that's just kind of a control scheme that I had to get used to.
Yeah.
Really fun, though. I enjoyed it.
The game is called Remnant 2, and it is on Game Pass Super Shocker.
That's why we did it, because we're like, Game Pass multiplayer. Let's give it a shot.
Going back to the last discussion we had, I think the risk with a $70 game is heightened by the fact that I can play games risk-free with Game Pass.
Yeah, that's why. I don't see how anyone can look at Game Pass and think it's not going to succeed in a world where everything is becoming $70. In a world where not a Sea of Thieves. What's the game we're just Skull and Bones? In a world where Skull and Bones, I don't know. I'm not taking that risk. If that game was on Game Pass, I'm taking that risk. Yep, I'll take that risk.
I would have never chosen to play this game if it wasn't, and I thought it was a really good game, minus the 35 minutes of where's Bruce?
Where's
Bruce? Just tell me all.
Now look at how
where Bruce is.
Now we're in this game. Let's say we go through and beat it, which I have every intention of doing. In fact, I logged in to play with you guys last night, and you were playing Baldur's Gate 3, which I have a hot take on.
You have a hot take on Baldur's Gate 3?
I'll give it to you in the member show.
Oh, okay.
You're not gonna
Stay
like
tuned,
it.
members.
You're not
member
gonna
show coming up next.
You're not going to like it.
Well, then you're wrong. I'm going to go ahead. You'll find out in the member show.
I bet you I know exactly what it is.
No, But here's the thing.
There's too much to do. I gotta mess with my menu. There's so many options.
Nope.
I just want a linear game.
That's not me. That's not my complaint. No, but here's the thing.
Too much clothes.
Here's how Game Pass. It's a win-win for everybody. It wins. It's a win for me because I get to check out this awesome brand new game that I wouldn't have otherwise checked out, Remnant 2, and It's a win for developers because when the inevitable Remnant 3 drops, I now will purchase it. I will. You know what I mean? Like the next iteration doesn't need to be on Game Pass because I've discovered number 2. Yep, I'm here for it. Good games. Game Pass is a merit-based system. Good games rise to the top.
Yeah.
Anyways.
No, very, very good game, and I'm glad you found it because we actually had a lot of fun playing that.
It was way fun.
And that first boss, I'm sure we'll get to different bosses, but we've done 3 bosses now.
It's got like Dark Souls mechanics on boss fights and everything.
Yeah.
With all of us together, and it's balanced for multiplayer where Dark Souls is not balanced. Like, yeah.
Also, we are playing. When you were playing with me, anyways. I did pick the lowest level.
Yeah, we did die on a boss.
So we are on the lowest level. So
I figured every time I play with you, that's the case. You never want a challenge.
Nope. I want to enjoy. I want to go through the story and enjoy it.
I've known that for years, David.
I don't want to get stuck. It is fun. It is a lot of fun.
Remnant 2. It's on Game Pass. Try it.
You don't need to play Remnant 1. I haven't. Here's the story. There's another world. Like that's the story. Go kill.
And you're there to
go kill stuff in the other world.
Spread freedom with bullets.
It's like Expendables. We don't need a story. We just need to get to the action.
Yeah,
that's how this is for me. Anyways, that does us for this week, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. For everybody that's a member, stick around for the membership. You don't have to go anywhere. This where you're at. We'll automatically take you there. We're gonna talk about some stuff as we always do. Hang out with you guys. Thank you guys for being here. It's been a big Xbox week. Till next time.
And go play some games if you can.
Yeah, have fun. Enjoy it. Yeah, enjoy games.
Yeah. Check out X1 the Gamer. That's his channel. He plugged it like 5 times during the show.
Yeah, that's it, guys.
I'm walking away from so far.